Thank you, thank you. Helps when your kids in the first of the learn. Can we put it on? I put it where you didn't have to. I put it to where you didn't have to let them in.
Yes, they're
And you're
jumping.
recording.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then we can highlight just that one.
So I think those.
What would be the best for what they can see is there.
Oh wait.
Yeah, I'm all sweaty though, so I do apologize for that.
So normally you should have a speaker view where
Yeah, there it is.
it's just us, but you can't. It's.
Well, then you
coming
can
in.
you
I did. And go to
can you
that.
pin it? It's gonna be backwards though, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Can you flip the camera?
I don't know.
I don't. I don't know how to do that. Do you?
I don't know how to flip it.
Wonder.
Turn it backwards. If you flip the camera to make it go the other direction, it would stand up here. Oh.
So if you go,
Oh, I should have been wondering.
Yes, I tried to set it up.
Okay, for the interest of time, I think we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you very much, parents, for coming this evening. This is an exciting time for your kids. They are going to be transitioning into sixth grade. And our sixth grade schedule looks different than their schedule does this year. So we're going to spend some time tonight talking about it and sharing that information with you. And then, of course, we're here to answer any questions that you might have. So we have some special people who are here tonight, our behind-the-scenes people that make all of our classes happen and our schedule happen. So I'd like to spend some time introducing them. To my left over here is our counselor. This is Tammy Monroe. She is the one that you'll be communicating with, specific questions you might have in regards to the elective classes or the schedule in general. Tammy and I build that over the summer. And then RJ Strouch is our assistant principal, and he is very involved in the sixth grade community, doing lots of things with our sixth grade students throughout the school year. So you'll know Mr. Strouch very well. He's also a point of contact if you have any concerns about a child's day-to-day going on in sixth grade. And then over here to the right is a whole group of special people. And standing up here closest to our microwave, this is Patrick Todd. He's our band director. And this is your child's first opportunity to jump into the band program in sixth grade. So he'll be talking about his program tonight. Immediately to his right, my left is Katie Todd, our music teacher here at the intermediate campus. And Katie will also be working in capacity with our elementary campus too. She's building our music program. We're in the process of building a choir program. So next year, the junior high, they'll have their very first section of choir in the 7th and 8th grade, which they haven't had before. And our current sixth graders are feeding that program. Behind Mrs. Todd against the window is Katie Leichen. She is our art teacher, a very popular class among our sixth graders. And if you ever had a chance to see some of the artwork our students produce, like your students who've been in her 5th grade art class, it's amazing what they do. But the step up from 5th grade to 6th grade is impressive. The things that the specialized things that they do in art, because they have art every day. So imagine having an art class every day for 50 minutes. You learn a lot of good skills. To the left of Mrs. Leichen is one of our 6th grade math teachers. She teaches general math and advanced math. This is Amy Dahlke. And I'm so glad to have some of our 6th grade team. Across from Mrs. Dahlke is Mrs. Buchanan, one of our English language arts teachers. And next to Mrs. Buchanan is Misty Taylor, the science teacher. And next to Misty Taylor is Lori Berry. Lori does our technology classes, and we have 2 choices for your students if they're interested in technology. We have a tech apps class, which we'll talk a little bit about. And then she has a multimedia class where the kids actually produce a live news program every day. And they have a production studio that does that. Then at the next table, one of our silent champions over there, this is George Ramos. He is our PE coach. He also works at the junior high campus and coaches multiple sports over there. We're fortunate to have him here at our campus, and your students probably talk about Coach Ramos often. They have a lot of fun in PE. And then, is there anybody else over there? There's a little bit of a glare, and I don't have on my glasses, so my distance vision is not strong. So, okay, I think that's all of our specials people that are here tonight. And I'm Wendy McMullen, and normally you and I will have lots of opportunities to have conversations throughout the school year. This COVID thing has really put a damper on that, and we're very frustrated with all of that. So we're hoping that next school year will look a little more normal, and you'll have more opportunities to come to our campus and be involved in the campus community, especially as 6th grade students. We really would like for parents to be a part of that. So we're going to share with you information about the choices that your child has in regards to their school year. And Mrs. Monroe, would you like to lead us in our PowerPoint here? So this is basically going to be an informational meeting and an opportunity to answer questions. So I hope everybody online can hear okay. We're also Zooming with a large group here, so I'm going to man the Zoom. Okay, Okay, starting off, different from in the past, we went to a 7-period day in 6th grade this year. And it has been a successful year. We've learned some things that we need to tweak, and I think it'll going to be another successful year with that next year. But in the 7-period day, every student will take an ELA, a math, a science, and a social studies.
Yes, and this.
3 electives. And I spoke with the kids today. Kids, who remembers what elective means? Okay, your choice.
Plus
And
3 electives.
we'll hear some of those here shortly. We're basically adding that extra minute into another period for people who need that extra help. The other choices are art, band, choir, computers, and study skills and study hall. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about PE, but I'm going to call Coach Ramos up here to get into the meat of that. If you look on the left side of the screen, you see PE, or physical education, and you see the kids are just doing a typical activity that we do in PE every day. And that's going to be the same, and that will be an option for students, but also we're going to have pre-athletics. And for the last 3 or 4 years, we've been talking about trying to add pre-athletics, and so we're very excited that we're able to do that this year, because it's going to be an opportunity to prepare them for sports in the future. And when they get into 7th grade now, the coaches are teaching them basic skills on how to lift and how to do different drills, and so they're going to be able to go through a lot of that during pre-athletics, and then they'll already be a step ahead when they get into 7th grade. So I'm going to turn this over to Coach Ramos now to kind of give some more information about that. And also, we gave you a packet, and then on the front page is a brief description of our classes. But then there are some more details on some of the courses, especially pre-athletics. There's a front and back page on all of the requirements and expectations of that class.
Okay, so I won't read word for word what it says up there, but in that packet, you'll see the expectations we have for students. So if you have any questions as far as what are they getting into, now, we're not lifting weights, not doing anything like that. But it's just those students who want to try sports, boy or girl. In junior high, this is probably the best way for them to get prepared and understand what it takes on and off the field, the court, the expectations we have for them at the junior high. I coach over there, I do football, basketball, and track. So we try to teach them, it's a perfect opportunity in 6th grade to let them learn that, you know, it's not about just what they take care of on the court or on the field. If they're not being respectful in class, there is consequences for that at the junior high. So it's the perfect opportunity for them to get them to understand that now, as opposed to trying to get them in line when they get over there. And then also with the workouts, things that, you know, push themselves. Again, we don't make a workout to say, how can we hurt a child? That's never our goal, but how can we push them to their limits, get them to understand that they can push themselves a little bit and they're not going to get hurt, you know, so just kind of taking a chance on themselves to build that confidence. So when they do try for football, for volleyball, for track, for basketball, whatever sport that they want to participate in, even if it's off the field in baseball, that we don't offer it now, but anything that they want to do as a person and as an athlete, we want to help them improve overall, as well as taking care of the business, most importantly, in the classroom. Are we doing questions? Yeah. Anyone that has a question as far as, you know, concerns about pre-athletics or something that concerns you? Yes, so perfect question, because we're still working on a changing area. for the boys and the girls, so nothing is, set in stone yet, but we would like them to purchase, a t-shirt and shorts to have a uniform, and the reason that being is kind of teach them a little bit of responsibility. So instead of calling mom and dad and saying, well, I forgot my uniform, it's their responsibility to make sure that they bring it every single day. And we would like everyone to look the same, so have same shirt, same shorts. And we're still working on where they would change, getting them privacy, that time to change for the next class, work on hygiene and all that before they move on to the next class, so the teachers don't hate me. Yes,
Is it gonna be separate, like there will be girls pre-athletics?
yes,
boys
yes, so
pre-athletics?
it'll be, I'm not sure on the exact,
Second and sixth period.
so it'll be second and sixth period, so
Boys.
second will belong,
Boys in the morning, girls in the afternoon.
yes.
Because girls won't get sweaty at the first of the day. That matters. It's the same. So the girls would be at the end of the day, sixth period.
Yes. Well, it's a progression. So we'll do band stuff, we'll do bodyweight stuff. Before we even go into, lifting a bench or anything like that, we want them to grasp that it's not just going into the weight room and putting as much weight as you can, but correctly building them, using their body weight and any kind of band work or free weights, perhaps dumbbells. Coach Harvey couldn't be here tonight, but he's the one behind the whole program, and he's the strength and conditioning at the high school, so. I'm sorry? No, not in sixth grade. Seventh grade is when they can start playing football. Yes?
The physical?
Physical. I need to speak with, Coach Ortiz at the high school about it, but we already gave them a packet, I believe. If not, we need to pass those out, but I don't think they're required to have a physical for pre-athletics. Any other questions? Again, the whole goal of it is just that in the packet that you see. We want to make sure that we make an overall outstanding student that you can be proud of. And then when they do go into the athletic field, they can represent the ball to the best of their ability. Thank you.
One question I had from kids this morning was that if you don't do pre-athletics in sixth grade, can you still do athletics in seventh grade? Absolutely you can, and that's kind of at any grade, you'd be able to join that, but it just kind of gives them that foundation. So, thank you, Coach Ramos. Okay, our next class is art, always a popular choice with the kids. We have 4 sections of it this year. It is a class that always fills up quickly, very similar to the art projects and things that you have done in 5th grade, except for they will attend the class Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. They're expected to do a lot of independent work and things on their own. And Ms. Blanchard, would you like to come and elaborate? No, she's good. If y'all have any specific questions, you can ask her about it, but if you can see up here, they're going to be using different kinds of mediums, and they do some really cool projects. We have some great things displayed in the hallways, and it really brightens up our hallways, and the kids really enjoy their time in art.
Yes.
In band, this morning, the 5th graders were able to attend a mini concert of our 6th graders. I always love to see how the kids progress in band every year. At the beginning of the year, we sometimes are thinking there's a kid in distress or a cat, screeching or something somewhere, and we're like, oh my gosh, what's going on? But it's usually them learning to play the instruments. But by the end of the year, they sound great, and they sound like a junior high or beginning high school band, in my opinion. So, Mr. Todd did pass out some papers today. The kids could have brought them home. It looks like this. It's on cardstock. And if your child is interested in taking band, we're going to go over the course selection Google form here shortly, but they do need to fill this out because this is how Mr. Todd knows that you want to try out for an instrument. I'm going to turn it over to him now.
Good evening. I won't take up too much of your time. I know there's a lot of stuff to cover. The cardstock form is very, very important. I can't stress the importance of that enough. Basically, all you need to do is put your name, good contact information for you, and get it turned back into Ms. Monroe when you turn in your course selection form. Which are we getting those tonight?
It's the Google.
It's a Google form. I'm sorry. I should have been listening.
Needs to be completed by Monday.
Completed by Monday. So these can be turned in either to myself or to the front office. Band or music in general, I think is one of the most important things for your kids and their development, and their education. There's a lot of, fine arts in general are great, but I think music, is not, it doesn't only give your students a way to express themselves, but it's gonna improve their reading skills, their teamwork, et cetera. We have a very, good program, one of the best in the state, as far as marching band and concert band and small ensembles. We're very competitive, and I'm the high school band director, and I'm in the 6th grade classrooms every single day. I come here every day with the assistants, and we get a lot of work done, and I think it's the best thing for your kids.
Any questions for Mr. Todd before about band?
Yes.
Okay, we'll make sure that that class gets it tomorrow.
Who's the homeroom teacher, Manny?
Who's your homeroom teacher, Manny?
Ms. Thibodeau, okay.
All right, we'll make sure. Everybody else got their cards today? Good. Okay. All right, next slide, choir. Like Mrs. McMullen mentioned earlier, we're extending our choir classes to the junior high next year, so that program's gonna start building. And as our district grows, we're gonna have more and more opportunities for people to be involved, and choir is definitely one of those. Choir does do some performances in years past, pre-COVID. They did some performances at nursing homes, and they did some festivals and whatnot. This year, they did a performance outside at Winter, and the parents sat on the blacktop out there, and the kids were socially distanced singing. And so we were able to get that in this year, and hopefully next year we will be able to even do more performances. Ms. Todd has done an excellent job with our kiddos in developing this program, and we're excited that it's going to extend to junior high next year. Ms. Todd, would you like to add anything? Hold on just a second.
I have to have a script because I get nervous. Y'all know how that is. Now, Ellie wants to talk too, but maybe later, okay, after everybody leaves. So, choir, you guys, if you've been in my class, you know that is a place to sing with your friends. It's a lot of fun. The thing I want to stress this year is we are going into the 7th and 8th grade with this class. So if you're in choir in the 6th grade, 7th and 8th grade, this year probably will not be going to contest, but the year after will. And so what I do want to stress to you is in class, I'm going to be listening to individual voices. It's going to be small group singing. It's going to be a lot of one-on-one, making sure that we're matching pitch, making sure that everybody is singing well together. We're really focusing on tone quality. We're really focusing on working together as a team and listening all around, okay? It's going to be a lot of fun singing, but also a lot of listening skills, okay? And sight reading has been a big thing this year. A lot of my kiddos come in and they're like, I don't know what sight reading is. Well, 6th grade is where we start, okay? So I'll hand your kiddo a piece of music and we'll take baby steps in their 6th grade year on how to sight read, because that will be something in middle school, hopefully, that they will go to contest for, okay? So this is a beginner level for that. Our goals include building our singing and performance skills, practicing sight reading skills, sharing our creativity amongst friends. A lot of the things that we did this year were creating music, because performance was kind of out of our realm with COVID. So we were more creative in coming up with songs on our own and doing, I won't tell you what we're doing for our concert this year. It's kind of a surprise for my 6th graders. Performing a variety of exciting songs, learning about music history, honing life skills like teamwork, concentration and focus, confidence, discipline, and active listening. So that is kind of what choir is about, and I went to my class. Okay. All right, and if you have any questions, I'm here.
Tell them what choir is.
Thank you, Ms. Todd. I will say that was another advantage of adding 7-period day, is that in the past, band and choir, Mr. Todd competed with Mrs. Todd for students, but now you can sign up for both of those. So, and we have several students that are doing both, which just even doubles your capacity to read music and do all that wonderful stuff in music. Okay, and before we get into technology, I will say when you're in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade middle school, which ours is junior high and then intermediate, but you are required to have a fine arts credit. And so band, art, and choir do fulfill that fine arts credit for junior high. So if you take one of those 3 classes in 6th grade, you would not have to take it in 7th grade or 8th grade. So Ms. Fishbeck, the junior high counselor, gets a list of all the kids from those classes from me this year to see if they need to take that in 7th or 8th grade. So that is an advantage there. You can continue to take it if that's your thing, but you wouldn't have to because you would have fulfilled that in 6th grade. So something to keep in mind. In technology, as Ms. McMullen mentioned earlier, we do have a couple of options for technology. The picture we have up here is of our multimedia class. They do our morning announcements every morning. They have a studio, and as you can see in this picture, you have your camera, you have your camera operators, you have your script operators that are scrolling the script for the anchor men and women. And then if you see up in the top right-hand corner behind the purple panther is the people who are on TV for that day. And you are required to be on screen if you are in that class. We had some kids this year that are like, oh, I don't want to be on screen. But you do need to participate in every facet of that class if that's the class you choose to sign up for. In contrast, we have the Tech Apps class, which again is similar to the computer class that you have in 4th and 5th grade, with the addition of coding, kind of gets more specific into coding. And I had a kid today that was just on spot with his description of coding, but basically learning how to do websites and some animation and some really cool things like that with your tech apps. So if computers are your thing, tech apps class might be an option for you. And Mrs. Berry, would you like to add anything there? She's good. If you have any questions about the computer classes, you can email Ms. Berry directly or myself, and we'll get your questions answered for you. And we're also planning to have study hall and study skills this year. We did have a couple of study hall classes this year. Those kids like those classes because they're able to complete some of their homework that they wouldn't, then they don't have to do it at home. But we're also planning on adding some skills to it, like teaching them how to be organized, how to access their grade through parent portal, and how you average grades, things like that. So we're going to add a little element of skills to just the study hall class this year. The only advanced class that we offer in 6th grade is math, and we do have criteria for it. You do need a 90 average for semester 1 and a 90 average for semester 2. And STAR and math requirements are also a part of the advanced math class. So for advanced math in 6th grade, you're covering the 6th grade TEKS and the 7th grade TEKS, so that in 7th grade, you will take the 8th grade math, and then when you're in 8th grade, you would take Algebra 1, which then kind of leads you onto a path of higher math classes as you get into high school. However, do not think that if you don't take advanced math in 6th grade, that you cannot take higher math classes in high school. Think of it as when we put in a location on our map on our phone to tell us how to get somewhere, it gives us a short route how to get there, but it also gives us alternative routes. So there are other ways to get there. In fact, there are some kids who double up on some math classes in high school, Algebra 2 and geometry. So don't think just because you don't meet the criteria to make advanced math in 6th grade, or there are even some kids who take advanced math in 6th grade that don't meet the criteria for 7th grade. If that happens to be the case for you, it does not mean that you would not be able to take advanced classes later. You just have to go a different route there. Okay, any questions about? Yes. No, math, advanced math does not count as elective. Now, on the Google form that I'm going to show you for your choice sheet, I do have on there, pick advanced math or math. So if you pick advanced math and then you don't meet the criteria, then we're not going to put you in that class. But certainly you can pick it because maybe you have interest in it, and we'll look at that. Any other questions? Okay, so finally, I'm not going to do a cardstock form. Last year, because of COVID, I had to do the course selection through Google Forms, so I decided to go ahead and do that again this year. I'm going to email it to the kids following the parent meeting, and the kids do know how to access their email and to find that that form, but so that you could access their email if you'd like to. Your child's email address is their first name dot their last name underscore 2028, because that's their graduation year. 7 more years. And then at navarroisd.us. So that's your child's email address. And then passwords are capital first name, initial, first initial, capital last initial, and then their student ID. And so the kids all know their student IDs, and that's how you would get it to their email to see the form if you're wanting to complete that with them. And then if you have any questions, feel free to email me as well. So, if you can switch over to the form. So basically, the email that they receive will access this Google form for them, where they're going to fill out their last name and first name. I do ask for their given first name, please, not their nickname, and their student ID number. If you'll notice here, they will pick math or advanced math, but again, you would have to meet the criteria to be placed into the advanced math. What lets you go since you haven't even filled out? No. Okay. And basically, the next part, it says pick your first choice, your second choice, and your third choice, and all the electives are listed on there. So when you don't pick the same class 3 times, because that's what some people are like, well, I want art. Well, no, you have to pick 3 different classes. The reason why we ask for 3 choices is because if a class does not make, if there are not enough students that sign up for it, then we would put them into their next choice. Majority of the time, you do get the class that you want. There's rare occasions that doesn't happen, but we obviously don't want to overload a class if there's not enough to make 2 sections, or we don't make the class if there's not enough people to make it at all. So you're going to do your first, your second, and your third choice, and then you're going to pick pre-athletics or PE. And remember, pre-athletics is going to be divided between boys and girls, and then you'll basically submit this form to me. If you change your mind, you can resubmit the form. But I ask that you not do that multiple times because it gets a little confusing. I'll be going with the last one that you submitted, and I would like this done by next Monday, so that way we have all of our band cards in, so I can give those to Mr. Todd, and then also we're able to make some more plans for next year. Any questions on how the Google form works or information about that? So like I said before, we did give you a little cheat sheet on course descriptions, or some of the classes did get some more in-depth with their classes if you want to know that. And we do appreciate you coming out tonight. Get ready. I say when you start going to meetings about classes for your kids, it's a quick ride to the end. So I have a senior this year, so I remember my first parent meeting talking about classes, and it goes back quick after this. So.
Yes, ma'am.
That's multimedia.
You take both technology and multimedia?
You could. Again, keep in mind though, if you don't do that fine art, then you're not taking care of that requirement for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Oh, okay. No, you can only take one of the technology classes. Sorry. I was thinking that was a change for this year.
So all of these are going to be the whole year, not just semester?
Correct. They are all year classes, 5 days a week, all year long. Any other questions? Yes.
Okay, so you don't offer honors ELA.
No honors ELA. They just added honors ELA and science in the junior high in the last couple of years. So it's just been something we did with math in 6th grade because it's leading me on that track for those upper math classes.
Okay, so how did you work and when she possible?
She picks a particular elective that she works on pulling in.
So they're going to get pulled out of the
Yes.
elective. Is it the same elective every single
I believe, I'm not sure, do you know, is this? I believe it is the same one, but it's just once a week. Any other questions?
For the technology class, or the multimedia class, we have to buy any equipment and stuff outside of the school.
Ms. Berry, we don't have to buy any equipment, no. Any other questions? Well, again, thank you so much for being here this evening. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me.
Do they call them out of the same elective every day? Do they call them out of the same elective every week for GT?
She's gonna phone them.
Hi, guys.
I had a question. The study class, is that also like, if they needed like extra help, that teacher could like help them on the assignment, or basically it's like them just independently?
So it's more independent because it could be there with an ELA teacher.
Thinking about it?
Right. Okay.
It is kind of more independent.
But sometimes she struggles with her homework, so I was like, well, if it's like a, kind of like a help, like a tutoring type.
Well, and they might be able to let you kids do it or something like that. It's kind of, it's more just like a tutoring study.
So it depends on the type of support she gets. If she gets in class support, we'll go into her room. Okay. If she has out of class support, then she'll be put for ELA tutor. Okay. Which is their English language arts. Okay, so everybody has to take PE and then they get javelin and
Thank you.
okay, so she wants to do art and then so we might look at, depending on when she qualifies for reading intervention class and math intervention class, which we could take one of those elective classes. But it's a small class, so usually like 10 to 12 kids. Very intense. And then with, so depending, she'll have her choices, and then she'll definitely get her first choice. We have to put her in one of those intervention classes. Once we have her already. Okay, but for now, let her pick what she's interested in. Okay, and,
This year
I'm
for
not
sixth grade.
sure,
I know that the
because there's supposed to be a guideline there, I don't know if they started doing it. Yes,
she
she
got
got
pulled
pulled
out
out,
for a certain amount of time.
it's in process. Okay, well, that's 45 days period, so she's gonna get evaluated at the end of the year and possibly at the beginning of the summer.
She's on the radar for now. Her process is right.
Just, if you'll just pick a grade,
Okay, and then like we would ask her.
Yeah, it's, okay, we're in good shape. Okay.
And then if you would have to have like
Because I know he wants to do athletics.
So that'll be second period,
And then band is offered third or fourth period.
and that's kind
So
of.
they can do that, choir's offered, right now, first and fourth period. We have lunch off.
Yes, yes, okay. Okay, we try to, like,
Usually
let's
the
say
same
she
art
goes to reading
teacher as
help
they're
and
now.
math help, we're gonna not
Just like
teach an
that.
elective. Because you want them to
I
have.
don't think he would take Yeah, so maybe technology or tech
Well, I'm trying to, because you know, so, but I was talking to her about the multimedia because she's like, she always talks about YouTube bloggers and stuff like that. And I said, well, this helps you guys.
Hello.
Hello,
But,
are you needing somebody?
and then, I don't know, he's never shown me interest in learning an instrument. Well, so he's either gonna have to do, because I would prefer not to have him in a study hall unless he absolutely needed it.
Yes, it will only be for those students that absolutely want it or need it.
Yeah, because that's the only thing is, because he's not interested in those, and of course, he doesn't get along with that. So I don't know if that's what
Yeah, conflicts or.
And I mean, he got through his computer class, but I don't know, what all they did in there. So he didn't get in any trouble or anything like that, so that's a possibility. But I just didn't want to have him in study on list that's absolutely out, the last minute thing, because he'll just go, he won't, because right now he's in that mode of, somebody has to be there.
Well, that's an elective, so
And
he
he turns
chooses it.
to turn off when you're right here at school. So it's like, when I get after him, he
No,
does it.
it's not, it's not the first, it really.
But, so I don't want him to be just sitting there. doing that. So,
No, that's is an elective, so discouraging from that one, I'm gonna put this down, discouraging from that one, if people are.
Right, okay.
A lot of times, like, when we offer
Running the show is behind the scenes. Tech apps is behind the scenes, protecting everyone. The technology applications and learning. Right now, we're gonna art.
Okay.
Art is
Okay.
number one, and then number two is art number three, and then if they have to take you out of one, like in math and English, then yeah, pretty quick to the point of little two. Well, and this is because you like art more than you like math. So I'm just gonna look at art. But what I'm saying is, if you keep going and
Hi.
Hi.
Yes, one question.
Yes, sir.
If they don't take band on 6th grade, can they take it on 7th or is it too late?
Mr. Todd told us that they don't have a beginning band program in 7th grade. The only
Okay.
band they have is 6th grade, so they need to jump in 6th grade if they're going to do it.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You are very welcome. I'm sorry, I was talking to another parent when you called in. So, any other questions I can answer?
So, no, that's fine. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Hello. I had a question.
Yes, how can I help you?
The elective screen, when y'all were running through the PowerPoint, I wasn't able to get a screenshot, but on that Google Doc, whenever that email comes through, is it going to show everything in there? Maybe like a brief description of each?
It will.
Okay.
It's on athletics and whatnot. I mean, like the art one just says art, but the multimedia and whatnot, it does tell the name of it and everything. And papers, the course descriptions, if your child was not here tonight, we'll pass them out to kids tomorrow.
Okay. So like the pamphlet that y'all handed out tonight, they'll get that tomorrow?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you very much.